Hi everyone, it's Kelly. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So it's cold outside, it's December, it's a week to Christmas. It's the most wonderful time of the year, honestly, with the snow and the magical season. So I want to do a rendition of a cold girl makeup, where you're naturally flushing when you're outside and like ethereal looking kind of eye makeup. So that's what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna start off absolutely with nothing on right now. I I have something on. I have the Bobbi Brown Enriched Face Cream on, and we're gonna be using a lot of makeup that I already have because I haven't bought new makeup recently. I just been buying all year, and I'm just sort of feel like I bought too much and I haven't used them, so I want to use some of my older makeup. So let's start off with my usual Tower 28 Sunny Days Tinted Moisturizer in the color 20 Mulholland. It is still, summer color-ish all year round, really. This is the color that I use all year round. While we're doing makeup, I'm just gonna also talk about some of the failed products or the products I no longer love. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. I'm gonna be using my Sonia G soft concealer brush. I really actually getting back to Sonia G brushes. This is a really soft one. From what I've used and owned, I've used synthetic one, I've used other brands, and none of them really compares to how soft this one is. Let's start off with a couple products that I sort of decluttered, but I didn't really show that I declutter them and remove them and all of that process. It's because I sort of just woke up one day sort of in an angry mode, how I guess just making bad purchases or purchases that I know that I don't like, but I just buy it I don't know, is it for the sake of buying or for the sake of trying new products? And the first one is, what is this one? This is the Chanel Jus Contrast Intense. This is the cream to powder blush that came out recently, which is one of most neutral shade in that range that came out. And I thought I loved it, and I do love it. I love the color and everything. I think it gives you, that makeup, no makeup look, and it's in the cream formula. So it blends in the skin really well and really easy. It makes it look really natural, which is why I wanted to buy this color. However, after using it, I just kept sort of moving away from it or wanting to use it because it does smell so much. So one day I woke up and I got really upset that I don't know why I spent money on this. So I just literally scrape it out so I can reuse the container or the packaging. But the product itself is still really new. Like I barely had a dent in it or even a slope in the cream product, but it's just that the cream, it just sort of lingers. Even after putting it on my face, I can still smell the rose kind of smell. I know it's the typical Chanel, and I just realized, I don't like scent in my makeup. And sometimes you're allergic to scent as well. So this is sort of a weird one where I just woke up and I really want to use this color because I really want to do that makeup, no makeup look, but then the scent just bothers me so much that I just got rid of it. So I'm just gonna go in a little bit with my Tarte Big Eagle Brow Pomade. I barely even use this, and the pomade, I feel like it's just a little bit too pigmented, so I only use a little bit of this. So that's why I don't think I'm gonna even make a dent in this before it even dries out. But the color that I have is in dark brown, and this is very pigmented. So at the start of things, I usually start in the middle, which is where you want the most coverage for your brows, or the most density. And then whatever I have left, I will continue to do to the end. Anyways, are you guys like me where you are just like so frustrated with a product where I know it feels like it's sort of a waste of money because you know you already spent on the product, you want to use it, but sometimes it's just the trouble is just not worth what you already spent. And like people say, you already spent it, you might as well declutter it if you're not going to use it, and keeping it won't bring you joy. And I'm a person who hates to hoard things. Like if there is something that doesn't have a purpose in my life anymore, I don't want to keep it around. Like it kind of bothers me that it sits there and it's taking up real estate or room, even if I'm not using it. I just really like less things, less declutter, and less declutter for your brain mentally. So that is why I am sort of going through a purge right now with some of the makeup, especially if they are the older makeup. I refresh my makeup every 2 years or so, or I try to buy new ones, so I won't be using those stuff anymore. I'm just gonna set with some powder on because you see my hair is sort of sticking onto my face from the foundation, so I'm just gonna go in whatever powder that you use. I just happen to be using this diffuse powder and just want to get some of the product not to stick to my face, and sort of use it as a base for my eyes as well. I go in a very light layer, I don't really layer a lot. For the eyes, what palette? I'm using the Chanel Rivage palette, which is this summer one. And I'm just using this really light beige shade. It's a satin shade, and I'm just using that as an all over lid just to have a even base. It's basically my skin, but with a little bit of twinkle in it. Like you can see the difference between this side and this side. It's just like a more refined version of my skin, but I like using that as an overall base just because it doesn't really change much of the color. It's still there, but it just evens things out. Next, I want to have a little bit of a crease of a shadow on my eyes. I'll be using the Chanel eyeshadow, I think 2-3 years ago. It's time to get a new palette, which brings me to the new Chanel face palette. Have you seen that? It very much reminds me of this very gold kind of palette. Anyways, so for me, what I usually use is this shade here, the shade with the CC. Warm and it's not too dark. I just put a little bit, just a little bit for definition. Just blending it out. And then whatever I have left on this brush, I'm just gonna take it down here. It's very much like a natural, neutral, enhancing kind of makeup. And that is all that I use from this palette. I don't really like this shade. I know it's a topper, but it's just too shimmery. And once again, I am no longer in my shimmer sparkly face anymore, so I feel like this is a lot of shimmery for me. I want to add some color into this look because, you know, winter, there's not a lot of color except for like blues and something really light. So I really want to try this Chanel Ombre et Couture one, and it's in the color Nuage Bleu from the summer collection. And I just want to add a little bit of color just for fun kind of color in the winter. Just a little bit. Making use out of these because I haven't really been using them. This is the Ombre Essential in the 220 Blanc Pearl. It's just a white color, but when it goes on, it kind of shifts to this white and pink kind of shift to it. I've called it a chameleon color, and I just thought that it would be the perfect kind of color for this look. Very, you know, ethereal kind of color. Like, see the difference? It brightens up and it has pink in it, but it looks white even though it goes on and it's pink. It's such a pretty color. And again, I feel like it's a very ethereal color. And this is a satin formula. It is not a shimmer, so I really like that it doesn't have shimmer and glitter that falls off everywhere. I'm also going to use this to line underneath the eyes. The other white shade that I really want to incorporate for that ethereal kind of look is from the Jellyfish palette, the highlighter, the white one, which, if you know, it is my favorite highlighting color. But I just love how ethereal it makes everything. So I really want to use that in this look. But for me, I kind of want to extend it onto the lid for a very pearly white kind of look. And I'm going to use that as my brow highlight as well. No joke, it is my favorite color ever. And I really wish that Hourglass would come out with a single of this shade. Another item that I went on rage and just got rid of is the Chanel Le Beige in the medium rose gold palette. As much as I love this, and it's cool, convenient, because you know, it comes with a highlighter, blush, and a bronzer and all that, but the problem is still fragrance. And because it already had a bit of a break in the powder already, the rest of it kind of broke just as soon as I flipped it over. And so therefore I take it as a sign that I don't even use it more. It was literally just sitting there staring at me. And I try to use it again. I'm just not really craving towards it to use it. So I decided I'm just gonna declutter it. And even though there are no product right now, it still smells of the fragrance left. So if something has fragrance, and you know, and don't even bother to try to justify a reason to keep it, just get rid of it, because at the end of the day, I have this since the summer and I don't think I've even used it 5 times. Anyways, so that is another item that I got rid of. So I'm just gonna go and put on some mascara and eyeliner, and then I'll be right back. You know, I said I had no bronzer today, but then I changed my mind because I wanted to use this Chanel oversized highlighting powder in the color Warm Gold, which is this is the one in the Chanel, the Symbol de Chanel. I think that came out earlier in the summer, and I have not really used this, so I thought about seeing what this one looks like as a sort of a satin or shimmery kind of bronzer for this ethereal kind of look. So I'm using my cheek brush from Chikohudo. I'm using this because, as you know, the new Chanel bronze face palette is coming out. It's a highlighting palette, and I am sort of debating if I want to get that. Anyway, so that's how much I got on my brush. Let's see what it looks like, if it gives you, you know, that beautiful bronzy kind of look. I haven't really used this a lot. It's now coming to a year and I barely even touched it. So I thought that I would take it out and see if I like it, if I should get the new highlighting palette that is coming out. It's basically a highlighting or illuminating palette. It is not a blush palette at all. And I've been trying to ask the people who have the new face palette if how does that formula compare to this, but no one has really given me an answer or response. So if you're watching this and you happen to have the new one and you also happen to have this Warm Gold one specifically, because I know that all the formula are different depending on the shades, because it comes with gold, it also came with a soft coral, and it also came with a white. I know the white was purely glitter, and I'm glad I didn't get that one because I think I would have decluttered that one as well. And then the coral one, I don't know what the formula is, so I really want to ask somebody who specifically has the Warm Gold palette. Anyways, if that is you and you're able to help us out, let me know. Because I feel like they say that they like the sheen of it and the shine of it is very natural. Like, but then some people say it's shimmery, so I really want to know, is it like this natural and this shimmery kind of look are we talking about, or more shimmery than this? Because I don't think I really need a palette that has so much more shimmer to than this one. So anyways, I'm just looking at how this one looks on the skin, and yeah, it looks very natural. Funnily enough, I never thought about using this as like a bronzer because I was not really into sort of that shimmery kind of look or that satin sheen kind of look, but now I'm really into that satin sheen instead of the glitter. But it really does give me a little bit of a bronze. Sometimes you use what you have, you will discover that you really don't need to buy more, which is what I'm trying to figure out with the new palette. Anyways, speaking of a shimmery product that I am falling out of love with is this Lotion de Chanel illuminating powder. Now that I have fallen out of like the glitter kind of phase, this one is just very glittery because it's part of the mermaid collection and whatnot. So I have not used this, and I don't intend on using this because it's just too glittery. But I mean, I just loved it. It gives you this blue shift to it. And then now the sun decides to come out. Anyway, so that's another product on the chopping block. I'm not sure if I really like it because at the end of the day, when I look in the mirror or when I try to remove the makeup, it's like glitter spectacles everywhere. That's why I'm sort of out of love with this one. Let's move on to blush. And the blush that whenever I think about cold weather blush is the Chanel La Beige in the color Rose Polaire. It's this really nice pink, but the powder is very hard to pick up and probably had hard pan. Like, it is very hard to pick up kind of powder, but when it goes on your face, it really gives you this just like light tint of color. And it totally reminds me of when it gets cold in the winter time. And I am somebody who have always lived in a 4-season weather myself. This literally is the epiphany of cold weather blush. Like, it's there and it's not shimmery, but you look like you just went outside to shovel your driveway and you come in and you're all blushed and flushed. The powder is kind of a little bit hard to pick up, but I really do enjoy using it. And you can add a lot of layers to build it up, but it doesn't get overdone. Like, it just doesn't. I think that this is still a product that I really still enjoy. I am gonna go and add another blush, which is this one, Jardin Imaginaire. This is a summer or like late summer, the light and berry kind of combination. I want to use this berry on the outside of my cheeks to give me that definition, but not too much. I'm using my Chikohudo cheek slash highlighting brush. This one is very pigmented, so I generally use it on the outside if I'm using the other blush in the front, because I want to keep the other blush. It just looks really natural as like a natural flush when you are in the cold weather. So I generally keep this one on the outside for definition and like an ombre effect almost. And now for the glow, I am going to use the Jellyfish palette highlighter again, because that is just my favorite highlighter. And like the glossy look, like seriously, it just looks so beautiful. See? It gives you that glazed donut kind of look, but without the shimmer and the glitter, which I really enjoy. I just love that look, which is why it's my favorite highlighter. So for lips, all I have on is just like a clear gloss from Dr. Dennis Gross, the lip plumping. So I'm just gonna take that off. It's just basically a clear gloss. And I'm gonna use the Chanel La Beige Healthy Glow Lip Balm in the color medium. It looks a little bit intimidating, but it's not. Once it gets on the lips, it's literally like a balm. And I just want like a very natural lips. And I'm gonna go in with the Rouge Allure Velvet in the color Midnight or 1200. I haven't really used this since I bought it. And it's this red kind of color, and I'm just gonna put it in the middle and pat my lips. Just in the middle, like it looks like sort of ombre out into the rest of the lips. So that is the makeup done, and I'm gonna put on my hat. So here we are in the freezing cold. Hat is on, makeup is on. Like, I feel like the makeup is very natural looking, but yet, you know, a little bit of a pop of color. The cheeks is glowing. Everything to me reminds of being out in the cold. What do you guys think? Anyway, so I hope you had fun recreating this like cold girl kind of look. I really do love this look. Anyway, some of the makeup that I'm sort of debating about is getting rid of the glitters in these palettes. I know that, you know, we love shimmery and glittery, but I'm just not into that anymore. I'm more of into the shimmer, but not like chunky glitter kind of look. So I'm sort of debating about these palettes, if I want to keep them. They're on the chopping block, or I don't know what I want to do with them. I don't know if I want to declutter them and just keep the shades that I do like. So that is the video for today. I hope you had fun with me. And if you like this look, or if you don't like this look, let me know. I love to hear everybody's opinion. Everybody has a different opinion. Until the next video. Bye, everyone.